Hi, my name is Shiloh Torres. I'm a sophomore at Central Michigan University studying music education and psychology. Today we'll be learning about the French horn, which I have right here. This is my personal French horn, and this is a Con 8D. To begin, we'll be talking about the mouthpiece. We learned a little bit about this beforehand, but just a few reminders. This end goes into the lead pipe of the French horn. This is the lead pipe, and you stick it in there like so, and give it a little twist. We'll save more of that for later. And this part is called the rim, and this is the part that you're going to put your lips onto. Alrighty, we're going to start by setting our lips, and we're going to say p, and it might help by saying and making the sound p instead of p. So p, p. Alrighty, and now setting our mouthpiece onto our lips after we say we're gonna, for the French horn specifically, we're gonna act like we're drinking out of a wine glass. So nestling it under your bottom lip. I'm gonna turn to the side just to make it a little bit easier. And you can make a little sound, and that's just air. And if you have bigger bottom lips, you might want to move the mouthpiece just a little bit more up, so it's on your bottom lip. But in general, the mouthpiece is going to be a quarter on the bottom and 3/4 on top, or 1/3 on the bottom and 2/3 on top. So, like so. There's a close-up of the front. And that's how you set up your embouchure. Alright, and now we're going to talk about something very important for the French horn. It's going to be your right hand. So we play our instrument with our left hand, and with our right hand we're actually going to put it into the bell of the instrument. This is the bell. So starting off, I'm going to set this down. You're going to lay your hand flat, and the easiest way to demonstrate how you want your hand to be positioned while it's in the horn is I'm going to turn it this way. You're going to reach the tip of your thumb up to this first curve, this first crease, and it's going to pull the rest of your fingers. I'm going to act like this finger is attached to your middle finger, your ring finger, and your pinky finger. So it's going to pull it down. This is what it's going to look like from the front, the back, this side, and then this side. It almost looks like you're going to make a little talking hand. Now the second aspect of putting your hand into the bell is actually putting your hand into the bell. So it might be a little hard to see, but if you see this little notch in the instrument where the pipe connects to the bell, this is the area you're going to want your thumb to line up with. So when you put it in the bell. So a way that I learned how to do this is that you just trace your finger down, going down into the bell, and you trace it into the bell. You're going to find that it's pretty close. You're going to set your thumb there. Make your hand into the little scooping motion, the little talking hand. You're going to put the top of the talking hand onto that little notch. And now, another thing that you're going to want to be aware of is that I'm going to move just a little bit so you can see, is that your hand should be pressed up against the bell. It's a little hard to see, but you can see that there's a lot of space in between my hand and the rest of the instrument. There's a lot of space right here, of my hand is gonna be against the bell. The back of my hand is in complete contact with the instrument. And one tip that I like to use, what I like to go by and tell others, is that your hand is actually becoming part of the instrument. And that's almost like a metaphor in that the instrument is part of you and you're part of the instrument, so your hand's always going to want to be right up against the instrument itself, and that's going to be the back of your hand and not the palm of your hand. Now we're going to talk about taking a breath so we can actually start playing on the instrument. So when you're taking a breath, I'm going to set my instrument down for now. When you're taking a breath, you're going to want to take a really, really big, deep breath, and you're going to feel it here, but your stomach is also going to puff out. So an easy way to know if you're doing it correctly, it's a little hard to see, but you're going to put your hands on your waistline. It's going to be under your ribs almost, so you can feel that out. I'm going to take a deep breath. And you can feel your sides and your stomach expand. And that's perfectly normal. That's just how our body works. And that's going to produce the most air. You're going to take in the most air that you can by using your entire lungs. And with that, your sides and your tummy is going to puff out. Alrighty, now we're going to start making a noise on the mouthpiece to begin with. So I'm going to set my instrument down. So what you're going to want to do when you're starting to make a noise on your mouthpiece, just the mouthpiece, is that you're going to want to set your lips. Say p, or and then you're going to want to blow lots of air, and your lips should start buzzing. It should sound something like this. It's a little tricky to get. And that is what's going to happen when you put your mouthpiece onto your lips. Or that's the same concept that you're going to want to take when you put your mouthpiece onto your lips. So do that buzzing motion, and then you can put your mouthpiece onto your lips, doing the same technique. Wine glass. And you can do a bunch of different noises. It doesn't have to be just that note. And that's how you're going to start buzzing on your mouthpiece. Now for the fun part. So we're going to put our mouthpiece into our French horn. I'm going to set up our hand, making that little cup motion, putting it into that little notch. We're going to hold our French horn up. Now this is going to depend on your height and what you're most comfortable with. Either you can hold it up completely, not resting on your leg, or you can rest it on your leg. And if you're going to do that, you want your bell facing behind you. It's not going to go into you like this. It's a little hard to see. So I can stand up. So you're not going to want to go like this. You're going to want the bell of your horn parallel with your leg. Almost. Not quite, but pretty parallel with your leg. And that's how you're going to hold your horn if you're playing like that. But now the fun part is playing. So we're going to buzz our lips, set our lips, and then buzz our lips. So p, and then we're going to put our mouth or set lips onto the mouthpiece. And then we're going to blow and remember to buzz our lips. Alrighty, so we're just going to make a few sounds, get used to the instrument. Maybe we can wiggle our fingers on all of the keys. And there you have it, you're playing the French horn.